There is a great difference of opinion as far as the Muslims are concerned, whether music is allowed or not, whether it's permitted or not. There is no verse in the Quran directly prohibiting music, but there are indications. Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Luqman, chapter number 31, verse number 6, it says that among them there are those people who purchase idle tales without knowledge and without meaning, and they mislead the people away from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they ridicule the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the people who will receive a humiliating punishment. So based on this, if you say tafsir, many of the tafsir says that this idle tales without knowledge, without meaning, refers to un-Islamic songs and the musical instruments. As far as the Prophet prohibiting music, there are various Sahih hadiths. So if you read the hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then there'll be no doubt whether it's permitted or prohibited. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 7, hadith number 5590. The beloved Prophet said that from among my followers, there'll be some people who will make illicit sex, that is adultery and fornication, as well as wearing of silk, drinking intoxicants, and using musical instruments as legal. There'll be among my people who will make some things which are illegal, that is adultery, fornication, wearing of silk, having intoxicants, and the playing of musical instruments as legal. Now this hadith, when it says that they will make certain things legal, and we know that intoxicants is haram, we know very well that adultery, fornication is haram, because it is mentioned along with these things which are forbidden, musical instruments are mentioned along with them, it indicates that the Prophet has prohibited them. But some people will make it legal. And we know there are some scholars who today do permit that playing of music instruments is allowed. So this hadith is very clear-cut in saying that musical instruments are haram. But there are other Sahih hadith which do permit some musical instruments, especially the daf, that is the tambourine. If you read the hadith of a beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam of Sahih Bukhari, volume number 5, hadith number 4001, where it is said that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after consummating his marriage, he came and he sat outside along with one of the Sahabas, when two small girls were playing the tambourine, that is the daf, and they were praising that Sahaba, his father, how he died in jihad. And when they started praising the Prophet, they said, don't praise me, you can say what you were saying earlier, indicating that the Prophet did not prohibit them from playing the tambourine. Furthermore, there's a hadith in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 2, hadith number 987, where the Prophet, while he was lying down, his hadith is narrated by Hazrat Naisha, may Allah be pleased with her, she says that two small girls were playing the tambourine and they were singing. When Hazrat Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, he comes and he says to them, that stop it. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sleeping on a cot. He tells to Hazrat Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him, that let them do it. These are the days of Eid. Let them do it. Furthermore, there's a hadith in Tirmidhi, hadith number 3690, where our beloved Prophet Muhammad, he says that there is a person who approaches the Prophet and tells him that I had vowed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that if you come back victoriously, I will sing and I will play the daf. The Prophet said, if you have vowed, then do it. If you have not vowed, then don't do it. So these hadith do indicate that musical instruments per se is haram, except for the daf, that is the tambourine. The Prophet did permit it sometimes.
First of all, we have to know the ruling in Islam over music. Now, why would someone say music is haram? Everybody likes music. Everybody enjoys music. Everybody enjoys singing and dancing and being cheerful. So why would someone say it's haram? It's very simple. To know the ruling over something, we have to go back to the Quran and Muslim. We are Muslims. We have to go back to the Quran and to the Sunnah. Do we get our religion from out of the Quran and Sunnah? No. Do we have any wali or any someone Mahdi or this or that who would answer to us other than what the Quran and Sunnah? Definitely not. As a Muslim is one that talk about music and singing in general. We will not go into that because people say it can mean this and it can mean that. But if you go to the Sunnah, the most authentic book for Muslims, ask him, you would say Sahih al-Bukhari. This is the most authentic book on earth after the Quran. And in Sahih al-Bukhari, the Prophet ﷺ tells us that there will be people of my ummah making haram things halal. And they would make adultery, fornication. They would make silk. They would make consuming intoxicants, khamr. And music instruments halal. 4 things. The Prophet ﷺ told us that there will come people who would make these haram things halal. So the Prophet is the one who told us that music is haram. And the evidence behind it is overwhelming. Let's assume that there is no Quran and there is no hadith on this topic. What's the ruling on music? We go to our 4 great imams, great schools of thought. We find that the consensus of the school of thought of Abu Hanifa, of Al-Imam Malik ibn Anas, Al-Imam Muhammad ibn Idris al-Shafi'i, Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Muhammad ibn Hanbal, the 4 schools of thought, and you have to follow one of them. They all say that music is haram, the consensus of the scholars. So, do I follow the Quran? Do I follow the Sunnah? Do I follow the 4 schools of thought? Or do I follow some Tom, Dick and Harry who say that it's permissible for a sheikh, a respectable sheikh, to swing right and left and sing songs and maybe dance and chant for the sake of da'wah? And tomorrow, maybe they'll say it's permissible for the sake of da'wah to go to a discotheque and dance with women and maybe call them for dinner for the sake of da'wah. What else? What kind of da'wah is this? Da'wah to another religion? Islam is so simple and pure. Islam is your connection with Allah Azza wa Jal. It cannot be misled. You cannot mislead people and misguide people through what only the Sheikh says. Simon says music is halal. Simon says it's okay to dance women and men together. It's okay to mix. It's okay to handshake. And it's okay to do this and that. And everything goes against Islam. What else is Islam? That is why we have to be careful of those who claim to be scholars or to be students of knowledge, who divert people from following the Quran Sunnah and ask people to only follow themselves. This is not Islam. All individuals evaporate in front of the Quran and Sunnah. They all dissolve in the Sharia. We only glorify the Quran and the Sunnah. And believe me by Allah, if music was halal, I would be the first to listen to it and I'll be the first to play it even. But it's haram.